It's been a pleasure to be here and an extremely enriching experience. I had prepared a presentation, but I thought early morning, first thing in the morning, कुछ ज़्यादा ज्ञान session दिया तो everybody's going to get pukaued. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a very realistic chat with you guys and try to help you all get some insights into how digital marketing can help you with job opportunities, and also explain a little bit about what kind of campaigns we do and what kind of resources companies are looking for when it comes to digital marketing. And I'm hoping that this little chat that we do will help you formulate some kind of career roadmap for you guys. I would also like this session to be more interactive. If you guys have any doubts, please do stand up and ask. Whatever help I can do with your queries, I would love to do it. Okay, so just a little bit about what we do. I've been associated with digital marketing and mobile value-added services for about 10 years. What we do is we provide technical solutions in digital marketing, and we also provide marketing and branding solutions to various companies. So keeping all these things that we've been doing in mind, I would like to tell you all, what are the opportunities that are available currently in digital marketing space. So every business right now is moving towards digitization. So all the companies, what they want is that whatever the resource might be, whether that person is in operations, in marketing, in sales, in analytics, they expect that person to have at least elemental and basic knowledge of digital marketing. So that's the beauty of digitization or the digital revolution that has happened. I think all the students here are either BCA or BBA students, right? Okay. So my first suggestion to everybody is at least have elemental knowledge of what digital marketing is all about. Digital marketing is a very, very wide word. It does not only talk about digital marketing, matlab ye nahi hai ki just marketing. It's not limited to that. Under digital marketing, we cover a whole gamut of things, which I would share with you, hoping that will help. So we talk about social media management. Everything that we talk about has two aspects. There is technical aspect to it and there is marketing aspect to it. So for BCA students, when we talk about social media management, for a technical person, in social media, there are a lot of opportunities where how you're going to use social media platform technically to help brands. That's where people with technical knowledge come into picture. From marketing perspective, or from content creation perspective, social media management is a huge, huge opportunity. Every traditional business also is now looking for digital presence. Yesterday we had a panel discussion about digital convergence, and I was talking about how word of mouth has become extremely important. It can make or break a business. So social media management plays a huge role there. So people who have creative bent of mind or who are good with content writing skills, have good marketing frame of mind, social media is a booming industry. Every business wants to have a good social media presence. All of them want to have in-house resources, who are good with social media management. So that's like one scope which you people can explore. Then there is paid marketing. I think all of you must have heard of Google certified courses, which you can do while you are still pursuing your, graduation, post-graduation, etc. So but I think every company, business houses, whether it's even hospitals and educational institutions, all of them go in for paid marketing, which is advertising about your product, your service, etc. on, all the advertisements you see on Facebook, Insta, all other news sites, etc., entertainment sites that you see, that is all done by resources who have specialization in doing paid marketing. So there are a lot of courses available which you can do along with your current studies. Get Google certified or get affiliate certifications, etc., etc. So that's like again a specialized role. I need you all to keep in mind, when a lot of students come to us for hiring, they come to us saying, हमने digital marketing किया है, तो हमें digital marketing manager बनना. It doesn't work like that. In digital marketing, everybody has a specialized role. There is a separate person who handles social media. There is a separate person who handles content for social media. There is a separate person who handles paid marketing. There is a separate person who handles all the creatives that go into digital marketing. So what you need to understand here is that figure out what is your interest area and then get some kind of specialization or certification in that particular area. That will help you when you go out into the job market. Okay, so coming back to various other functions, the current trending technologies and current marketing trends are AI, machine learning, chatbots. Every consumer-centric business is looking for, chatbots to ensure better consumer experience. So BCA students, if you go into, things like AI learning, machine learning, algorithms which help with chatbot experiences, that's like a booming thing. Almost all my clients, from healthcare to films, everybody is looking for solutions like that. And we provide them. I'll give you some examples of how we've implemented these technologies in providing campaigns in these segments. So for BCA students, that's one thing. As far as the BBA students are concerned, you should also pursue things like, gaming, etc. If you're good with games and stuff, gaming storyboards, gaming studios, they are booming. Gaming is a very, very big requirement for all entertainment, media-related industries as well. Apart from this, apart from this AI, etc., I think anything which is innovative. So, you need to understand in traditional marketing, ये होता था आपने सामान लिया, दिया, बात वहाँ पे खत्म. But now with digital marketing coming in picture, it's not blind advertising. Unlike traditional marketing where आपने TV में ad दिया, huge diaspora of people are going to see your ad. In digital marketing, everything is measurable. Because everything is measurable, analytics and big data play a lot of important role. So that's another aspect which you people can explore. Every company, every business is looking for at least one resource who's good with analytics and data mining. When you do any campaign or you do any kind of role in your current organization, at the end of the day, your management is going to ask you कि इसका result क्या है and how have you derived that result. That is why analytics are extremely, extremely important and a booming segment in terms of job requirements. So that's one more area you can explore. So I'll just explain how we've implemented various digital marketing technologies in campaigns that we've done. So one of the clients that we have is into healthcare. They provide knee replacement solutions. They're a B2B company. B2B is like business to business. They sell their products to surgeons and to hospitals. And they are not allowed to do any direct advertising to consumers. But they still wanted to create awareness. So they wanted to do campaigns for that. We came up with a very innovative strategy for them using social media platform, which I would like to share with you. I think all of you, if not all, some of you use TikTok. You guys use TikTok, right? Okay. I think Facebook is almost dead with your generation, but TikTok is something which a lot of young kids are using very effectively. I don't know whether it has a very long life or not, but right now, in current scenario, it's a platform which is generating a lot of opportunities for brands as well as for creators. So there are a lot of, kids who have fan base of 2 million, 3 million, and it is one platform which right now gives genuine engagement. People who create content, their fan base is very genuine. It interacts with them. So we wanted to create a health-based campaign because the product is for senior citizens. So we got these creators to do some kind of jig with their parents where, they're dancing with their parents and then parents kind of say that, listen, mere to ghutne mein dard hai, and the son says, okay, why don't you go in for these knee replacement solutions so that we both can continue to dance for a long time. We did this as an experimental campaign and we got amazing result. We had 3 influencers doing this. We got about 20 lakh people liking the videos and almost 2,000 to 3,000 people commenting on it that it's a very nice message. We would like to know more about it. So this is how influencer marketing is also a very important aspect. This is for people who are good with content creation. Let's say you have interest in, I saw a lot of good talent yesterday in your cultural thing. A lot of good singers, a lot of good actors. So if you're good with that, that's one more area you can explore because influencer marketing is extremely big. That's something which brands are now exploring over paid marketing. Paid marketing में lot of brands are not sure कि कितना fake है, कितना real है. But in influencer marketing, it's like, if I see 10 people talking about a product, it's very good, as a consumer, I'm likely to buy it. So that's how influencer marketing works. And for people who are good with content creation, you don't have to, go to Bombay and join a film industry to become an actor. You can just post your content on such platforms and make it a revenue-making, segment for you guys. So that's like for what we did for Zimmer. Then we did a campaign for a movie called Dream Girl. I think most of you might have seen it. It was a big hit, did 200 crores business. So Dream Girl, we had a campaign because the movie subject was this guy, Ayushman, as a call center executive talking like a girl, right? So we came up with the entire concept. The entire marketing strategy was we got a number which was promoted by the film on all their trailers where people could call and talk to Dream Girl. And what we did was we created a chat bot. The entire AI algorithm that we wrote for it was that people who were communicating with the chat bot, they almost felt like they're talking to Ayushman. In 30 days, we had about 15 lakh people calling on WhatsApp, trying to talk to Ayushman, and we had about 40 to 50 lakh messages that were exchanged with, that chatbot. People were confused कि chatbot है या actual में Ayushman बैठ के हमारे साथ chat कर रहा है. So there are a lot of, user base who are very starstruck. So yeah, they used to communicate every day. So it was a huge successful campaign. A lot of traction happened. A lot of people, participated in the entire contest that we had run for the campaign. So that is, anyway, movie had a lot of rich content, so it was a success. I'll now give you an example of how marketing can change a movie which was very average. But right kind of digital marketing campaign can make it a decently successful campaign. So there's another movie which came, Ujda Chaman, which was in direct competition with Bala. Ujda Chaman had nothing in it. Star value nahi thi, bahut chota sa hero tha. And it was competing with a movie like Ayushman. But the reason Ujda Chaman did 12 to 13 crores of business while it was not even worth 3 to 4 crores of business, which it could, which we would have done without a marketing campaign. So there were a lot of things that happened. A lot of influencers were involved who started talking about that how the movie is similar to Bala and there's a lot of controversy. All this is a marketing gamut. This is how social media influencer marketing campaigns happen. So a lot of people who would not have even heard of the movie came to know about the movie and curiosity factor happened. Ki aisa kya hai? Why is a movie like this being compared to Ayushman's movie, Aisa Kya Hai Isme. So that created that kind of factor, and movie was able to generate decent amount of business. So that is the power of digital marketing, that's the power of influencer marketing, social media marketing. And that kind of can give you people some insight कि आप क्या कर सकते हो आगे, after you finish your BBA or BCA, what are the different kind of aspects you can explore to, increase your opportunities or etc., in the job market. So that's what I wanted to discuss. If you people want to have any questions, any kind of queries you want to ask, please go ahead. Anyone? No one? So you all are very sorted about what your career roadmap is it? Have you guys got some clarity on what you want to do after you complete your graduation? Is everyone going in for masters? How many of you want to pursue career in things like, what we just spoke about, digital marketing, etc.? You can raise your hands, even if you don't want to speak. No one? By the way, digital marketing is a necessity. Even if you want to pursue career in accounts, it's better that you have at least elemental knowledge of what digital marketing is all about, because all businesses are so digitized right now that if you don't have this basic knowledge, you all will face issues. So that's my advice to you guys. And one more thing I would like to say, all of you, our parents' generation was working for, making a living. Our generation was working for standard of living, but your generation is all set. You all have to just work on quality of, living. So you can pursue your dreams, chase your dreams, do what you want to do. And there are enough opportunities thanks to this digital revolution that whatever you want to do can become a job opportunity for you. So I wish you all luck. Do what you guys want to do and be happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your valuable ideas and your success mantras with our students and with the delegates guests. Now I request Dr. APS Bhadoria, sir, to please present ma'am a memento for a token of remembrance. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, this is yours. Ma'am, now, next distinguished to honor us with his presence is Dr. Jagwan Bhagwani, Director, Ellen House Business School, a management professor, trainer, and consultant in the area of finance and business analytics. His expertise also lies in the area of outcome-based education, accreditation process, NBA, NAC, and functioning of the internal quality assurance. He is presently associated as Director, Ellen House Business School, Kanpur. Professor Bhagwan possesses a work experience of around 20 plus years in industry and academia. Professionally qualified as a company secretary and is presently a fellow member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. He also holds a PhD and a postdoctorate degree in commerce and possesses various certifications in business analytics, international finance, and financial derivatives from renowned institutions. He is certified trainer in the area of predictive and descriptive analytics, and also an expert on outcome-based education, teaching, learning, and evaluation. He has conducted around 40 management and faculty development programs and training sessions in India and abroad. This includes names like IIT Guwahati, Remote Sensing Application Center, Lucknow. Through his workshop, Dr. Bhagwan has trained several corporate professionals, faculties of engineering and management, company secretaries, doctors, hospital administrators, etc. He has presented and published 28 research papers in national and international conferences. And Professor Bhagwan strongly believes in the law of karma. According to him, success is how high you bounce after hitting the bottom. Let us now put together our hands in welcoming Dr. Bhagwan Chagwani, sir. I would request Uday, sir, to do the honors. Please give a huge round of applause. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. So I would request you to share your views with audience.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful introduction. That a very responsible minister is going to come here. I know ma'am personally also is expected to join us in a few moments from now. So I'll take only 10 to 15 minutes. And my talk shall deliberate upon 3 important points. Point 1, Industry 4.0. Point 2, impact of Industry 4.0 on education. And point 3, what is the way out for today's higher education institutions to cope up with Industry 4.0 revolution? So the first point, subtopic rather, Industry 4.0. The first industrial revolution, something related to agriculture. And then the second one, industrial. The third one, information. And now we are talking about Industry Revolution 4.0, which is more into transfusion of different technologies in the entire business processes, systems, and literally each and everything. So Industry 4.0 expects from us a high usage of technology, but it has one more important message. We need to know what technology we need to use, how much technology we need to use, where we need to use that technology, and when we need to use that technology. So, Industry 4.0 expects from us to use values while dealing with technology. Now, when you have technology, the word values become very important, because people can use technology crossing the ethical limits. So that's Industry 4.0 revolution in very short, by way of a short explanation. Now, what is the impact of Industry 4.0 revolution on education? In particular, higher education. Now, in higher education, we have new terms coming in. In fact, these terms were there in the corporate, but we have started learning these terms in our education system, and most of you here would relate to them. Internet of Things, IoT. Artificial intelligence. Machine learning. Deep learning. Robotic process automation, or in short, robotics. Now, I ask a question, which you may not answer right now. But what does robotic process automation have to do with a management program, say a PGDM program or an MBA program? So robotic process automation has even entered the management curriculum of many reputed institutions of India. So everything is related to Industry 4.0. Now I'll give it an answer to this question. Now when I asked the PGDM student as to why robotic process automation as a subject has been introduced as a core subject in your curriculum, the student replied that we are not supposed to make bots, the software programs, but we are supposed to identify the processes in a business that can be replaced by bots, that software program. And so in the websites of banking companies, you find chat boxes and all those things. These are all those activities that have been replaced by bots. So this means that comes with a challenge of maybe unemployment. But that's a myth. The Industry 4.0 revolution, actually, if you understand it in the right sense, it will create more meaningful employments if the right skills are learned. Now I come to the third part of my discussion. What is the way out of Industry 4.0 revolution? How do educational institutions like PSIT or any other educational institution deal with Industry 4.0 revolution? The answer to this is outcome-based education. Earlier, the traditional education used to be, this is what I can teach, whatever you come out to be. Whatever is the level of the graduate, this is what we can teach. Now the entire world is talking about outcome-based education. This is what we want to become. Now decide what you have to teach. So it's all bottoms up. It's a reverse engineering coming into play. So the outcome-based education concept is to deal with Industry Revolution 4.0 is we need to predefine our output or outcomes, and we need to attain those outcomes by amending our teaching methodologies, the way we draft assignments, the way we have group activities, the way we teach, the way we draft our curriculum, and the way we choose the topics to be taught in the classroom. So for all the people sitting over here, those who may graduate in the imminent future, or for those who are actually working in industry, now this discussion is common to all. What are the skills that Industry 4.0 revolution expects from us, which should be inculcated in our curriculum, taking the help of outcome-based education? The first skill, critical thinking. I met a student a couple of days ago. I asked the student, suppose the glass is filled half with water. What is your perception? So one of those students replied that it is half full of water. Another replied that it is half empty. Now I came across a third student who said the glass is twice the size as it should have been. New perception. So out-of-the-box thinking is one very common word that we use or phrase, replaced by critical thinking. That is thinking to be used outside the barrier of normal thinking processes. Problem solving. Another skill that Industry 4.0 expects from people like us. Adaptability. Adaptability to such an extent that there is no confusion at all, no hindrance at all. Flexibility, adaptability, problem solving, critical thinking, usage of technology. And if we say usage of technology, again the same things. What technology to be used, when the technology has to be used, where the technology has to be used, and how much the technology has to be used. Can technology replace each and every aspect of human life? No. Can technology help to smoothen human lives? Yes. How? Where? When? How much? Who will decide? We. So these are the skills that the Industry 4.0 revolution expects from us. The education system of India is undergoing a big radical change. We have had discussions where UGC, AICT, all these regulatory bodies are trying to join hands and maybe come up with one body. In fact, the ministers would be in a better position to tell us what's actually happening. So for people like us, whatever is the regulatory authority, whatever is the system of education, skills are something that we need to focus on. So for people who are actually working, for people who are actually, who may become entrepreneurs in the imminent future, or for those who are studying in the classrooms, for them, there are certain skills that we need to take into consideration. We need to realign our thinking processes. The education institutions need to realign the curriculum, keeping in mind what are the outcomes that we need to achieve. Now, a bit for the faculty sitting over here. We talk about outcomes. This is the last part of my discussion. We talk about outcomes. The first and the foremost thing, even the students can relate to this example. If you read a particular course, it must have course outcomes. What does that mean? At the end of a course on, say, marketing management, what I'm expected to know. So these are course outcomes. and then program outcomes. Suppose a PGDM or an MBA student is here. At the end of the MBA program, what can be expected from me? And then we talk about program educational objectives. Within 3 to 5 years of passing out a program, what the society can expect from us. Just try to visualize. What is a stretch of expectation from people like us? Not only at the end of a course, what should be expected from us is known. At the end of a program, what is expected from us is known. But within 3 to 5 years of passing a program, what we should achieve in our life, that is also documented and expected from us. And then the institution shall be asked by the society, within 10 to 15 years of your existence, did you accomplish your mission? Did you accomplish your vision? So even faculties like us, or people who are heading institutions, even we are on our toes to understand what the society expects from poor students that we have in institutions. So that's how the entire world of education is facing the dynamism. My only advice to all of us sitting over here, is, let us keep abreast with all the latest changes. I thank the organizers of this particular conference, because it has a recent theme, recent advancements in computer science, communication, information technology. This is one thing that is not going to leave us for long. We need to blend ourselves with technology. We are using a small technology right there in our pockets. We need to use that technology in our daily lives, and let us try to create a society where technology actually helps us and we actually demonstrate leadership in terms of the ethical values that we need to show while using technology. And last but not the least, all the people sitting over here, majority of the people sitting in the front seat, they are all outputs, including me, we are all outputs of traditional education. Traditional education used to talk about knowledge, K. Nothing in this world can replace knowledge. The modern education, the outcomes-based education, has added only 2 more phrases to knowledge. It's KSA, knowledge, skills, and then attitude. Knowledge, what I have to speak. Skill, how do I manage public speaking? Attitude, if somebody asks an absurd question, what is my behavioral demonstration while answering that question? So, is the modern education replacing the traditional education? In other words, S and A, do they have the power to replace K? No. The best of the best people who speak in English cannot ignore alphabets. K can never be ignored. But just icing on the cake, top K, top up K, with S, skills, and A, attitude. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request Uday sir to do the honors. Thank you, sir. It would indeed a great pleasure for us to listen to you again and in our future events. Thank you so much. Now, next distinguished to honor us with his presence is Mr. Ranjit Acharya, business professional with a master's degree in business administration. He is a personality with high positive energy. He is Chief Executive Officer with a demonstrated work history in the field of marketing and advertising. Have been running a successful advertising agency, Prisma Advertising, since 1991. He also runs a full-fledged audiovisual studio and a media buying house. Promotes an international school, Sanskriti International School, as a founding chairperson. Skilled in customer service, business development, strategic planning, marketing strategy, and public relations. A motivational speaker and a corporate trainer in the field of personality development and personal growth. He has trained more than 1 lakh people in past 15 years. students, I suppose he deserves a round of applause for this. Trained more than 1 lakh people. A lyricist and a poet, social activist, executive member of professional body like Federation of Nepalese Chamber and Commerce and Industries. A member of Board of University Grants Council, Nepal, also a member of Rotary and Toastmasters International. He is currently Club Growth Director of District 41, Toastmasters International. He is responsible for clubs in Delhi, NCR, Kanpur, Rajasthan, Northeast, West Bengal, Bangladesh, and Nepal. Also leading a social venture, Nepal Ambulance Service 102, as founding member and current president. And you know, this service is currently providing free ambulance cities in 5 cities of Nepal. It is providing services in 5 cities of Nepal. I request Udebhan sir to please welcome sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, the stage is yours now.
Good morning. First speaker, Ms. Puri, has made my life easy because I am not going to talk about advertising or digital advertising now. I was supposed to talk about it, but then I decided, as she has already spoken about it, and there was no interaction from you, so I'm going to change my topic. I'll talk about 4 C's that will define your success. When I say success, it's not about your career, it's about your life. George Danzig, the greatest mathematician, during his master's year, once he reached his mathematics class late. That lecture was about to finish. When he entered his classroom, he saw 2 equations, maths, statistics, problems, written on the blackboard. He jotted it down thinking that this is home assignment. And then he took 9 days to solve those 2 problems. When he went back to his professor was shocked because that day professor had taught unsolvable problems of mathematics. And George Danzig, who was not in the classroom, had no idea that these problems cannot be solved. And he solved those. Why this happened is because he was challenging his worth. Can you challenge your worth? Because as humans, we always think that my capacity is because of my social conditions. My limitation is because of my society and my family background. That's where we go wrong. We need to challenge our worth. We are capable of achieving much more than what we can think of. So for that, we need to challenge our worth. Have you heard about Chinese bamboo tree? Have you heard about it? A farmer, Chinese farmer, when he sows that seed under the ground, 1 week, 10 weeks, 60 weeks, 260 weeks, 5 years it takes that seed to come out of that ground. 5 years, 260 weeks, that seed takes to get out of that ground. But when it gets out of that ground, it just takes 6 weeks to grow 80 feet tall bamboo. It grows as long as 80 feet. The longest bamboo tree you can find in the world is Chinese bamboo tree. But it takes 5 years for it to come out of that ground. Do you think there was nothing happening under the ground? There was so much happening under the ground that it had the capacity to grow 80 feet in 6 weeks. I would like to talk about James Dyson, Sir James Dyson. I'm sure that you have not heard of him, but he is connected with each one of us if we have vacuum cleaner in our homes. Sir James Dyson was working to create a prototype of vacuum cleaner, double typhoon, bagless vacuum cleaner that he wanted to create. You know how many prototypes he created? 5,126 prototypes he created, and he failed. 5,127th prototype is the one that we are using at this time. It took him 15 years to create these prototypes, but he never gave up. I'm talking about commitment. With challenging the world, do we have that commitment? Like that Chinese bamboo tree. Do we have that commitment like Sir James Dyson? Whatever you do in your life, if you do not have that kind of commitment, you are not going to achieve it. In 80s in Bollywood, when the actor, the hero, used to act in one of the romantic songs, and he was told by the director that you have to just throw your arms around and then the heroine will come and hug you. So do this. That's what the director used to tell all these actors in 80s. And there comes one actor. When the same action was told to him, he changed something. He didn't do this. He did this. What did he do? He just put in some creativity to whatever everyone was doing otherwise. He didn't follow the path. He created something unique by adding creativity to whatever everybody was doing. So be ready to add creativity to whatever you do. Unless you become creative, you're not going to be successful. So I've talked about 3 C's here. Challenging your worth, having that commitment, and then being creative. Lastly, I would like to leave with last and 4th C. That's craziness. You must be thinking that if we have to set our goals or vision, how high do I keep my vision or goal? How do I set that vision or the goal for my life? If you are thinking that, I'm going to give you one simple small formula. The sentence is, are you crazy? This is the sentence. Next time when you talk about your goal or vision of life, when you share it with somebody else, till the time you don't hear, are you crazy? Pagal ho gaye kya? You will not settle for that goal. Make it higher. Till you reach the point that somebody tells you, are you crazy? That's not your goal. In the year 1998, I was running an ad agency in Nepal. I had 5 more people working with me. I wrote in a paper one crazy goal. That was, I would like to give salary to 50 people. When I had 5 people in my team, I wanted to give salary to 50 people. That was crazy goal. When I told this to my father, he said, crazy, what are you talking about? You have 5 people. And it took me exactly 6 years, 4 months. In 2004, when I calculated, I had 52 people working with me. Then I again doubled that number and wrote 100 people. It took me only 3 years to achieve 100 people. Then I wrote 250 people in a paper and talked about it to some people. They said, are you crazy? And that's when I followed that dream of giving job to 250 people. It took another 6 years to achieve that. Then I doubled that number because I was crazy. In 2017, when I counted, I was giving salary to about 505 people in my different businesses. I am following a dream, the crazy goal of giving jobs to 1,000 people. It may take 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, but I know that I will achieve that. When you go for your crazy goal, you will go so close to it. That is so big that you can never imagine. So, PSIT Kanpurians, are you ready to be crazy? Do you want to go crazy? For that, have that challenging attitude, have that commitment, be creative, and be crazy. You are going to achieve what you want to achieve. Lastly, to leave you with, how many of you want to become best? How many of you want to become better than the best? Those who raised your hands, please remember this. There's one more thing that beats the best. That is better. So don't try to be best. Always try to be better. When you try to be best, you have to beat someone else. When you try to be better, you have to beat yourself. So compete with yourself. Don't compete with anyone else. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your thought-provoking address. I would request Dr. APS Bhadoria to honor our guest with a token of love and remembrance. Thank you so much, sir. You are now going to witness a video on the theme Thrilling Potential of Sixth Sense Technology by Pranav Mistry.
We grew up interacting with the physical objects around us, and there are enormous number of them that we every day use. Unlike our most computing devices, these objects are much more fun to use with. When you talk about objects, one another thing automatically comes attached to that thing, and that is gestures, how we manipulate these objects, how we use this object in everyday life. We use gestures not only to interact with these objects, but we also use to interact with each other. Like gesture of namaste, maybe to respect someone, or maybe in India, I don't need to teach a kid that this means 4 runs in cricket. It comes as a part of our everyday learning. So I'm very interested from beginning that how can our knowledge about everyday objects and the gestures and how we use this object can be leveraged to our interaction with the digital world. Rather than using a keyboard and mouse, why can I not use my computer in the same way that I interact in the physical world? So I started this exploration around 8 years back, and it literally started with a mouse on my desk. Rather than using that for computer, I actually opened it. And most of you might be aware that in those days, the mouse used to come with a ball inside, and there are 2 rollers that actually guides the computer that where the ball is moving, and accordingly where the mouse is moving. So I was interested in these 2 rollers. And I actually wanted more, so I borrowed another mouse from a friend, never returned him, and I have now 4 rollers. What interestingly I did with these rollers is basically I took them off from these mouses and then put in a one line. It had some strings and pulleys and some spring. And what I got is basically a gesture interface device that actually acts as a motion sensing device made out of $2. So here, whatever movement I do in my physical world is actually replicated inside the digital world just using this small device that I made around 8 years back in 2000. Because I was interested in integrating these two worlds, I thought of sticky notes.
Please give a huge round of applause to
I
our
thought, why
dignitaries.
can I not connect the normal interface of physical sticky note to our digital
We are
world?
extremely honored to have Ms. Kamal Rani Varun, Minister of Technical Education, Government of UP with us today. I request the dignitaries to take their seats on dais. I request Vice Chancellor Dr. Abdul Hanan Chaudhry, Primacea University, to please come on the stage. Thank you so much, sir. Today we are extremely privileged to have Ms. Kamal Rani Varun, Minister of Technical Education, Government of UP with us today. Ms. Kamal Rani Varun is an Indian politician and presently she is serving as a cabinet minister in the government of Uttar Pradesh as a Minister of Technical Education. She was a member of Uttar Pradesh Legislative Assembly. She was also a member of 11th and 12th Lok Sabha. She was born in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. She pursued her master's in sociology at Kanpur University. From 1989 to 1995, she was a member of Mahanagar Parishad Kanpur. She was elected to 11th Lok Sabha in 96. From 96 to 97, she served as the member of the Committee on Labor and Welfare and the Committee on Industry. She worked as the member of the Committee on the Empowerment of Women in 97. In 1998, she was re-elected to the Parliament for a second term. From 1998 to 1999, she served as a member of various committees, including the Committee on Official Language, Committee on Labor and Welfare, and the Consultative Committee of Ministry of Tourism. Ma'am, we are extremely honored to have you with us today. I would now request Dr. Shivani Kapoor to accord a floral welcome to our guest. Thank you so much, ma'am. I would now request our honorable guest, Ms. Kamal Rani Varun, to please address the august gathering. Ma'am, please.
Ulio. बहुत जल्दी मुझे समय मिल गया बोलने के लिए। दरअसल में मेरे साथ चीटिंग हुई। जब मुझे आना था कल, तब तो इन्होंने मुझे बुलाया नहीं। और आज मेरा कार्यक्रम जो था, मैं हिंदी, आप लोग समझ रहे हो ना? मैं तो हिंदी से ही हूँ, पूरा एजुकेशन मेरा तो हिंदी में ही हुआ, और आप लोग ज़्यादातर इंग्लिश में ही सब आपका तैयार रहता है, तो हिंदी समझ पा रहे होगे आप लोग। और मुझे आज कार्यक्रम मेरा था हरदोई, मुझे बहुत जल्दी निकलना था। पता है, इन्होंने मुझसे रिक्वेस्ट करके आज का जो कार्यक्रम है, उस कार्यक्रम से इन्होंने हमसे चोरी किया। आज का कार्यक्रम चोरी किया। अच्छा, मैं भी माफ़ कर देती हूँ अपने इस कॉलेज को इसलिए कर देती हूँ नहीं, अब सुन तो लो, मेरी बात तो सुन लो पहले, मैंने क्यों माफ़ किया। दरअसल मैं रहने वाली हूँ मैं कानपुर की, और कानपुर का अगर मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाई या मैं आगे कुछ हुआ तो ये सब मेरे साथ रास्ते में आएंगे। इसलिए अपने पड़ोसी होने के नाते, अपने कानपुर के होने के नाते ये अपनत्व है मेरा कि मुझे सब समय निकाल कर अपने कानपुर वालों को तो मुझे समय देना ही होगा, और इसीलिए सारे कार्यक्रम को छोड़कर मैं आज आपके बीच आई हूँ। आज यहाँ पर उपस्थित लाइए, वो सब दीजिए मुझे। आज प्राणवीर सिंह इंस्टीट्यूट में आयोजित इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस में मंच पर उपस्थित हमारे चेयरमैन जी, वाइस चेयरमैन जी और उपस्थित हमारे और बाहर के लोग भी, बांग्लादेश से भी आए हुए हैं। क्या नाम है आपका? हम भाई देखिए, अभी मेरा परिचय भी नहीं हुआ ठीक से, मैं तुरंत आ गई हूँ, मुझे तुरंत इन्होंने इस पर खड़ा कर दिया है मुझे। तो मैं जितने लोग भी हैं यहाँ पर पूरा इन्होंने अपना परिचय ही नहीं दिया, और परिचय के साथ भी जो भी यहाँ पर उपस्थित हैं, हम सभी को अपने दिल से, अपने हृदय से मैं उनका अभिनंदन करती हूँ। और यहाँ पर मेरे जो प्यारे प्यारे बच्चे हैं, बहुत अच्छे बच्चे हैं, जो मुझे लगा कि शायद बड़े खुश मिजाज है, क्योंकि मैं बहुत खुश मिजाज दिल की भी हूँ। मैं चाहती हूँ हर काम बड़े खुशी और हंसी मुस्कुराते हुए काम को आगे आना चाहिए। आज परिचय भी देखिए कितना मुस्कुराते हुआ, इतना किसी ने हंसाया नहीं होगा आपको, इतने खुशमस्त कोई हुआ नहीं होगा। तो हम ये चाहते हैं कि हम जिस लाइन से गुजर रहे हैं, हम एजुकेशन जो लेने आए हैं, उसको इसी तरह से हंसते हुए मुस्कुराते हुए, नो टेंशन, कोई भी टेंशन नहीं होना चाहिए। अगर टेंशन होगा तो आप अपने लाइन से हट जाएंगे, आप अपनी पढ़ाई में उतना मन नहीं लगा पाएंगे। इसलिए यहाँ पर जो भी लोग अपना एजुकेशन ले रहे हैं, जिस भी विभाग का ले रहे होंगे, वो सभी लोग हंसते मुस्कुराते हुए खुश होकर बिना कोई टेंशन लेकर अपने आगे की पढ़ाई को जारी करें। और हाँ, अगर यहाँ कोई दिक्कत है, दिक्कत जानते हो, कभी कभी अंडरस्टैंडिंग गड़बड़ हो जाती है इनसे और इनसे और अपने टीचर्स से, हमसे चुपचाप बता देना, के चुपचाप बता देना कि यहाँ ये प्रॉब्लम है, यहाँ हमको ये परेशानी है। आप विश्वास करोगे, मैं सबका क्लास ले लूँगी, जैसे ये क्लास लेते हैं आपकी, वैसे मैं इनका क्लास ले लूँगी। लेकिन शर्त यही कि आप अपने पढ़ाई में कोई भी रोड़ा ना अटकाने की कोशिश करिएगा। परेशानी पढ़ाई में है, कोई दिक्कत है, उस दिक्कत को दूर करने का प्रयास हम सब और यहाँ का जो मैनेजमेंट है वो कर तो रहा है, लेकिन कहीं दिक्कत है तो मैं पर्सनल आपसे मिलने के लिए हर वक्त तैयार हूँ। ये मैं आज कह के जा रही हूँ। ये तो आपकी हमारी बात हो गई। अब हमने इस विषय को संभाला है, इस विभाग को मैंने संभाला है, तो मैं ये चाहूँगी कि ये अभी कल आपका एक हुआ है, नहीं आए होंगे, सबसे मुलाकात हुई, मीटिंग हुई होगी आप लोगों की, बड़ा अच्छा लगा होगा आप लोगों को। आपका जो एजुकेशन है वो अनएजुकेशन से बिल्कुल अलग है। हम लोग भी पढ़े हैं, हम तो आर्ट साइड के स्टूडेंट रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, सभी लोग पढ़ लेते हैं। आज कल की स्थिति ये जो है, हर एक को हर कुछ करने के तैयार रहना चाहिए। नौकरियां हर समय नहीं रहती हैं, नौकरियां हर एक को मिलती भी नहीं है जल्दी जल्दी, लेकिन जहां हम गुजर रहे हैं, जो हम पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, जो एजुकेशन हम ले रहे हैं, उसमें निश्चित ही आप कुछ कर पाने में पूरी ताकत है आपके पास, हर शक्ति है आपके पास कर पाने की। अभी हम रायबरेली गए थे, वहाँ पर एक कार्यक्रम था, तो वहाँ पर कुछ पुराने आए हुए थे, आपके विद्यार्थी आए हुए थे जो उन्होंने वहाँ से शिक्षा ग्रहण की होगी, तो उनके साथ हमारा शेयर हुआ और उन्होंने अपनी बात कही। उन्होंने कहा कि मैं जब यहाँ से निकल कर गया, पूरे एजुकेशन लेकर गया यहाँ से, तो मैंने नौकरी का रास्ता नहीं देखा, नौकरी का मैंने मुंह नहीं देखा, नौकरी के लिए प्रयास किया। मुझे लगा जो हुनर मैंने लिया है उससे अपने आप कुछ किया जाए, कुछ विशेष किया जाए। और उन्होंने दिल्ली में बहुत बड़े उद्योग उन्होंने लगा के रखा, और उन्होंने अपने उन बच्चों से जो पढ़ रहे थे वहाँ पर, उनसे ये भी कहा कि मैं पूरा का पूरा ध्यान आपके लिए दे रहा हूँ, आपके लिए कुछ कर गुजरने के लिए मैं तैयार बैठा हूँ। आपको अगर कोई दिक्कत है कि कैसे उद्योग लगाए जाते हैं, कैसे इस तरह के काम किए जाते हैं, मैं पूरी तरह से आपके साथ में हूँ। तो जो कल आपका कार्यक्रम हुआ था ना कल, तो वो कार्यक्रम जो हुआ था वो बहुत अच्छा कार्यक्रम है, और इस तरह से हर साल इस तरह के कार्यक्रम होते रहना चाहिए। कि पुराने विद्यार्थी भी आते हैं, नए विद्यार्थियों के साथ जुड़ते हैं, कुछ पुराने अनुभव वो अपने आप के साथ शेयर करते हैं, कुछ नए आप लोग अपने प्रॉब्लम उनके साथ आप बताते हो। तो इस तरह के कार्यक्रम तो हमारे यहाँ अपने होते रहते हैं, बहुत अच्छा लगता है। आज भी आप लोगों का कई विषयों पर डिस्कशन होने वाला है, यहाँ पर सब लोग अपनी अपनी बात रखेंगे। लेकिन बस यही मुझे कहना है कि ये जो है आपका एजुकेशन, ये समय समय पर बदलता रहता है, परिस्थितियों और समय के अनुसार ये आपका एजुकेशन शिक्षा बदलती रहती है। जो पहले था, आज से 20 साल पहले जो टेक्नोलॉजी थी वो आज नहीं है, और जो आज है वो 20 साल बाद नहीं होगी। इसलिए परिवर्तनशील है आपका, समय के अनुसार इसमें होता है। तो अभी हमें चर्चा हो रही थी आपसे एयरफोर्स के संबंध में, उन्होंने बताया था, काफ़ी कुछ बताया था। तो वो कुछ करने वाले हैं यहाँ, आप लोगों के साथ मिलकर करने वाले हैं। अरे आप तो वो शक्ति हो कि आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो, दुनिया को एक नंबर पे पहुँचाने की ताकत तो आप लोगों के पास है। तो मैं यही कहती हूँ, मेरी बहुत सारा आशीर्वाद है आपके साथ में, बहुत सारा शुभ आशीर्वाद है आपके साथ। दिन दूनी रात तरक्की आप करें, हम भी आप ही के जरिए हम भी अपना नाम रोशन करेंगे। अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी में मैंने बहुत सारे सुधार किए थे कि हमारे बच्चे ठीक, उनका भविष्य का सवाल है, ये नकल पर न जाएं। मैंने अभी ये किया था कि कोई इस तरह का काम नहीं, हरकत नहीं होनी चाहिए, इसीलिए हमने आपसे शेयर किया था। आपके जो यहाँ के चेयरमैन, उनके साथ हमने बात की थी कि बैठ कर सारे लोग अच्छे तरह से पढ़ाई करें, कोई ऐसी नकल वाली स्थिति यहाँ नहीं होनी चाहिए। ये बच्चे अगर पढ़कर जाएंगे, अच्छा कुछ काम करेंगे तो इस दुनिया का नाम रोशन करेंगे। तो ऐसे ही कुछ हमारे दिल में भी जज्बा है, क्योंकि आप सब मेरे बच्चे हो। हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे बच्चे की तरह आप आगे पढ़ो लिखो। अगर कहीं कोई दिक्कत है तो हम सब बैठे हैं ना, आपके लिए बैठे हैं। आप कुछ भी हमारे लिए कुछ कह सकते हो, कुछ कर सकते हो। अभी कई चीज़ें आप लोगों के सामने और आने वाली हैं, परिस्थितियाँ इस तरह की हो रही हैं, जैसे हमारे यहाँ इस समय पानी की कमी होती जा रही है। अरे कुछ कर डालो, कुछ करके दिखा दो, कुछ नया टेक्निक कर दो कि ये वातावरण जो गलत गड़बड़ हो रहा है, कुछ उसमें नया कुछ विकास करो। ये हमारी समस्या है, इन समस्या में दूसरे का काम आपको करना पड़ेगा। तो इस तरह तमाम समस्या आ रही हैं, उनको आप देखिएगा। आज मेरे प्यारे बच्चों, तुम लोग मिले हमको, हम तुमसे मिले, आगे फिर मुलाकात होगी। कुछ तैयारी करके आऊँगी, आज तो इन्होंने 20 से निकाला है मुझे, और अगली बार पूरा मैं समय आपको देने वाली हूँ, ये वादा करके मैं जा रही हूँ। आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप अपना कार्यक्रम आगे चालू करिए। बहुत बहुत
इजाज़त देकर हम एक शख्स से बुलवा लें आपके सामने, या आप जैसा अगर जाना चाहें। अच्छा ठीक है, मिनट और आप लोग का
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैम। और हम सभी उम्मीद करते हैं कि हमारे सभी छात्र आपके सुझावों को अपने जीवन में उतारेंगे और प्रयत्न करेंगे कि वह अपने जीवन में सफल हों। I would now request Dr. Shivani Kapoor to present a memento as a token of respect and love to our guest. थैंक यू सो मच मैम। हम बहुत आभारी हैं कि आपने अपने व्यस्त शेड्यूल में से हमारे लिए वक्त निकाला मैम। थैंक यू सो मच।
I think we all should stand for
A round of applause. Please take your seats. We are now going to resume with the video.
I'll wait here.
We are now going to witness a video by Mr. Ulrich Frank. Mr. Ulrich Frank holds the chair of Information System and Enterprise Modeling at the Institute of Computer Science and Business Information Systems at the University of Duisburg-Essen. His main research topic is enterprise modeling, that is the development and evaluation of modeling languages, methods, and corresponding tools. He is on the editorial board of the journals Enterprise Modeling and Information Systems, Architectures, and many more. He has served as the spokesperson of the German business informatics community within the German Informatics Society and is the founding director of the International Student Exchange Network. This will be a video talk.
Dear colleagues, dear students, it is my pleasure and I feel honored to be virtually with you today. I would like to express my appreciation for the Pranveer Singh Institute of Technology Kanpur for organizing this remarkable event. As far as I can tell from the pictures I saw on the web, you have a very impressive campus that provides an excellent environment for research and teaching. Thank you very much for having me at your conference. I'm especially grateful to Dr. Aparna Dixit, who invited me to give this talk. And finally, I would like to send warm greetings to those enthusiastic students of the Pranveer Singh Institute of Technology whom I had the pleasure to meet earlier this year at a conference in Pune. Have a great conference. Thank you very much for inviting me to give a presentation. I would have certainly preferred to join the conference, but unfortunately I have too many obligations these days. I will give you a brief overview of the research we did during the last 5 years or so. And before that, I would like to draw your attention to our student exchange program. The University of Duisburg-Essen is one of the largest universities in Germany. We have about 44,000 students distributed on 2 campuses, 11 departments, and my chair is part of the Institute of Computer Science and Business Information Systems, which is a large institute, probably one of the largest business information systems groups in the world. We have 5 professors, about 1,000 students, and currently more than 20 PhD students. We run a bachelor and a master's program. And we are located at the heart of Europe, in the center of Germany, in the old industrial heart of Germany. What we are doing, and this is something that I'm really excited about. We have been doing that for about 10 years. We run a student exchange network called IS-Link that is aimed at fostering the international academic exchange, especially exchange of master students, but also of academics in general. Currently, 24 universities have joined the network, and it's a very, very nice way for students to gather international experience. And the infrastructure we set up allows students to easily get credits for the work they did abroad. So we would be very pleased if students from India, if universities from India joined in. You may have a look at the details of the program on the IS-Link webpage. So now I get to my talk, and it's about ERP systems, or to be a bit more precise, about the future of ERP systems. The current situation is, as you probably know, that ERP systems form the backbone of many enterprises. They constitute a huge market with various big players like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, and so on. The idea is to integrate multiple software systems to cover almost the entire enterprise. Functions are included like procurement, order management, human resources, accounting, and many more. They are without any doubt of pivotal relevance for the competitiveness, for the performance of the enterprise, and in particular, they are relevant for mastering the digital transformation. So the question is, if these systems are so important, how might future systems, future ERP systems look like? This is the motivation. This was the motivation for the project we did, and I will give you a brief overview now. It's very brief because it's a big project, but I hope that those of you who are interested in the subject get an idea of what we are doing, and if you are interested in more details, I will provide you with a link to our project pages. So what are core requirements when it comes to designing ERP systems? Of course, an ERP system should be adaptable, because we can assume that requirements are changing, especially now with digital transformation is going on and still causing the company to be penetrated by software. In order to cover the costs, in order to make this transformation economically feasible, it's important to demand for reuse of software artifacts, but of knowledge in general. And it's also important to empower users, because future users of ERP systems will be surrounded by software. And if this software is presented to them as black boxes, they will be very limited in their decision making. So what can we do to satisfy these requirements? Well, of course, the first idea these days might be to call for machine learning, which is considered as a silver bullet by many. And indeed, machine learning offers quite interesting perspectives on moving the limits of automation. But in this case, I will not look at machine learning in more detail. This is for a good reason, because we are convinced that for the future of ERP systems, machine learning is not at the center, even though it might be important. Instead, I would like to point at two general approaches to satisfy these requirements. The first one is abstraction in general. If we manage to build systems that abstract the invariant part of a system away from the variant parts, we certainly contribute to its adaptability, because at best we can change the variant parts without causing side effects on the invariant core. And similar to that, reuse would be fostered by capturing, by abstracting on those parts of the system that are not specific to a particular company, but that are characteristic for a wide range of companies. And again, if we manage to provide these invariant, these generic parts of a system and allow for convenient and safe adaptation to individual requirements, we would certainly contribute to reuse. And finally, user empowerment would also benefit from abstracting away the technical representation of a system and focusing on conceptual models. That means a representation of the system that makes use of concepts the users are familiar with, so that they can understand what's going on and get a better idea of how to change the system. The vision we have to address these issues is the vision of a self-referential enterprise system. This is an enterprise software system that is integrated with a conceptual model of itself. This corresponds to what you know from software engineering, where we use UML diagrams or also domain-specific models, but also with conceptual models of the environment it operates in, of the enterprise, of the markets, and so on, so that people who are using the system get a better idea of its purpose and of its limitations. And this integration should happen at runtime, not like in the past where models were used to design systems and then generate code. No, the best thing that you could think of with respect to using models for the purpose of developing and using software systems would be to integrate models and code at runtime. And self-referential enterprise systems would also promote reuse by providing domain-specific languages and also implementations that could be subject of reuse. And finally, these systems would empower users by opening the black box that software usually is and providing them with representations of software and the surroundings the software is used in through conceptual models. And the point here is not just one big conceptual model, not just one modeling language, but various modeling languages that satisfy the specific professional viewpoints, the specific professional perspectives of all these different stakeholders in a company. This is now an illustration to give you an idea of the various perspectives such a system should cover. There are, for example, goal models, and this is just a graphical illustration. These diagrams are just one form to represent the content of a system. You could also think of textual form. You could think of other kinds of diagrams, of tables, whatever. And then there's something like a business process map that shows the various business process types and their relationships. You could think of using familiar analysis tools like balanced scorecards, value chain diagrams. You could represent the organizational chart, business processes, that means the control flow. You could think of models that reflect the IT security in a company, or an IT resource diagram. All these models of the enterprise would be integrated so that people can tell the impact of change, the impact that changing one part of the system would have on other parts. So another illustration, this is something that you could have with advanced current systems already, but there is a difference, as I will point out in a second, shows how to start on a higher level of abstraction and drill down to a more specific viewpoint. So here you see business process map that shows the various business process types and their relationships, for example, order management processes or customer acquisition processes and so on. And now a manager might be interested in having a closer look at an order processing process type, in this case related to product C, and he's presented with a diagram that shows the process type. And then he could have a look at the list of currently running instances, and selecting one would then lead to a representation of this instance and its current state. So this is something that you could have with advanced workflow management systems of today, but the difference here is that all these diagrams are parts of models that are integrated with other models, like goal models, like models of the organizational structure, and so on and so on. It's just a view, and as you shall see on the next slide, these models are also integrated with their meta models, and if there is need for that, with the meta models. This is shown here. At the bottom level, you see what you get from today's ERP systems. They provide you with various representations of data and also maybe of processes, as you see on the right. But now and here it gets interesting, if you are a reflective user and you want to know more about the data you see, about the processes you see, you could ask, well, how is this process defined? What is the semantics of this data? And then you go up one level. This is something that is usually not possible in today's system, but conceivable. You could go up onto the schema level. Here you go to the schema level, but the schema is represented through graphical representations of models. And if you are not satisfied with what you see there because you think the schema lacks properties that are relevant, you could add them. And furthermore, you could even look at the language level, which is here on M2. And if you're not satisfied with the concepts that are used to define the schema, you could even change the concepts. And you could also go further on to change meta concepts because the number of levels would not be limited. And the idea, of course, is if you change a concept at one level, the system at best would be automatically updated. So now, of course, this conception of integrating an enterprise modeling environment with an enterprise software system at runtime is extremely challenging, as those of you who are familiar with software engineering will immediately see. So what is our approach? The approach is multi-level language engineering. It is based on a recursive meta model that enables, an arbitrary number of classification levels, not just M0, M1, M2, M3, as many as you want, as many as you need. And it features a common representation of models and code. Usually if you want to use models for the purpose of developing software systems, you would at some point press the button if you have the tools, and then the code would be generated. But then, of course, later you run into the notorious problem of synchronization. Here we have the same representation for models and for code. If you like to work on the models level, you work with models, you change the model, and by changing the model, you change immediately the code. There is a set of integrated and extensible domain-specific languages that are part of the multi-level engineering environment, and there are tools that allow you to add further languages, to integrate them with the languages that are already there. There's also a multi-level language engineering environment that provides people with a lot of tools that are useful for designing and implementing languages, like compilers and diagram editors and all what you need. And it also fosters, because there's one common meta model, it also fosters the integration of multiple languages, both programming languages and modeling languages. This is just an illustration of the meta model. And for those of you who are familiar with meta modeling, maybe know the Uml Meteor Model, this should look quite familiar. It's, as you can see, it's very, very simplistic. It's a very simple meta model. There is a class, which is in fact a meta class at the center, and a class consists of attributes and operations, and then there are associations which are represented on the left. But the most important part here is the recursive feature of this model. A class is an object at the same time, and an object is instantiated from a class. So by default, class is on M2, and every class that is instantiated from class, which is an object at the same time, would at first be on M1, but by having this class inherit from class, it would be lifted on M2, and you could repeat this process up to any level you need for your system. And this is all hidden from the user. The user just instantiates a new class and is asked for the level of this class, and just types in the level, and that's it. So just to give you an idea of the generic modeling language, those of you who are familiar with the UML might see at first that it looks similar, but there are differences. In the UML, every class that you define has exactly one meta class. That's the meta class defined in the UML Meteor Model. Here, every class has a meta class that the user defined before. Unless it's on the topmost level, then the meta class will also be the class defined in the Meteor Model. And to distinguish between different levels of classification in the Meteor Model, we are using colors. So for example, blue means this class is supposed to be on M3, black means on M2, and M1 is represented similar to the UML by black on white. And in addition, the meta class is positioned on top of the class name. And what you see also, because every class is an object at the same time, you see the class, the object state. That's it's represented by the data printed in green. And you also see, because this model is running, is being executed, you also see the return values of the operations, which is printed in yellow on black. So this was a brief overview of the foundation of self-referential enterprise systems. For those of you who are interested in getting a better idea of the foundations of the details, you may want to have a look at the project pages, language engineering for multi-level modeling. You find them here. This is the URL, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Just send a message, and we will be glad to answer your requests. Also, it is possible to download various resources, including the tool itself, but also publications related to the project. So I hope some of you at least will be interested in what we are doing. And in addition, I would like to repeat that we are very, very much interested in students from India joining in our student exchange program. We will be pleased to welcome students from India in Germany. Thank you very, very much, and have a great conference.
I wish to extend my heartfelt thanks, though in absentia. Now we all proceed to the boys' dining hall for high tea. The delegates and the faculty